Good evening. Graham Vincent, Violinmaker and musician, driving the car at the moment. And with me is...
Hello, Tibo Jabeck.
So we've not been in the workshop today, as I mentioned yesterday, I think. We've actually been on a little road trip, a little jolly, to see Rod Ward, the violin maker, who is an absolute gent. It was a real delight. It was a wonderful day, and I mean, Rod's got a lovely free style of working and produces some lovely instruments. So I mean, I don't know what you thought. It was a really, for me, it was a fascinating day in the workshop, seeing what he gets up to.
Yeah, it was certainly quite inspiring to see his style and everything.
Yeah, he largely works on models by Deliezu, I think, predominantly.
Yeah.
Also does some Brethian style work. There was a Gaspard solo copy he made. And it was really interesting because he does do some things in a completely different way to how I do them. And equally, there are other things that he does which are very much the same. There was some lovely jigs, I thought.
Yeah, there was some really interesting.
I am going to I'm just going to steal those without no excuses. I'm just going to steal them. Yeah, it's going to make life easier. And the one thing that really I am going to try after today is actually, Rod tends to put the bodies together before he finishes the edge work and before the purfling goes in, and that's something I have done once before. And I think when I did it, I mean, it was quite a few violins ago, and I like to think that my work has improved, or my technique has improved since then. And at the time, I wasn't entirely sure whether it was beneficial or not. But I think now that my style, if you like, is a bit more free flowing than it was then, I think it could play quite well with the way I tend to work, so I'm going to give it another go. Definitely. So that will mean carving the outside of the front and back plates, carving the inside, but not getting the overall shape sort of in too tightly, and then assembling the body before you actually do any of the edge work. It was. I've said this before. I mean, we know that that's how Stradivarius and Guarneri, for example, work, because their little location pins are often cut by the purfling, which means that the purfling must have gone in after the bodies were assembled. Now, you were saying you think Guarneri.
Yeah, there's like one theory which comes from the articles by Roger Hargrave in the Del Gesù books, and he sort of thinks that most likely, even now, Del Gesù would have done most of the edge work after closing the body of the violin. He probably would have done like the first sort of chamfer just to get himself like started on like the underside, if you want, of the plates of the front and back, so the
side that's facing the ribs.
Face the ribs, exactly.
Yeah.
That he would have done like a chamfer there before assembling the back and the ribs. And the reason why that theory is there is because there isn't like a single knife mark or any tool marks on the rib that would sort of suggest that Del Gesù would have sort of done all of the rounding of the edges after assembling.
And not implying that Deliezu was sloppy, but there are plenty of examples of his knife marks around purfling and scrolls, and everything really, aren't there? And that does tie in with my experience that when I did sort of assemble the body first and then do the edges afterwards. I do remember the underside, you know, the getting that curve up from the ribs and out to the edge. The underside of the edge work was surprisingly difficult. So yeah, I can believe he might have adopted that technique. Also, I was quite intrigued by Rod's approach to making madder root, sort of a pigment. So I should be having a play.
Yeah, it was interesting to see this.
And, I mean, 5 strings are always interesting. I spoke to one of the videos I've done previously was me talking to an instrument maker, a violin maker. His name was, I can't remember his name. It's Glyn or Glenn. I'm terrible with names. I do apologise. But he had a very specific approach to 5 strings, and Rod also has quite clearly his own theories, and all I can say is the proof of the pudding. It was a most beautiful sounding instrument, I thought, that 5 string.
Yeah,
I really like that one. Yeah. So we're just heading back 3.5 hours now. There we go. The joys of the M25 are behind us, luckily, and now we're on the M3. So heading back to Somerset. Yeah, anything else that you want to mention that you learned today?
No,
I'm sure there's loads.
It was really nice just seeing another workshop and getting inspired by a maker.
Yeah. If I remember, I will put a link to Rod's website in the description of this video. I think that's the least I can do.
Yeah.
Okay, right, signing off?
Yes.
Okay.
So.
Cheers folks, look after yourselves. Bye.
Bye.